Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Grit Season 2. And you know, we back here at the panel, and so this time we're doing something a little different, and we have guest co-host. And this week our guest co-host is author, motivational speaker Annette Webster.
That's me.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
That's
Well,
good.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And she is here to discuss her book, The Blueprint. But before we get into that, y'all, what's been going on?
Oh, well, you look at me. Okay. What's been going on? Recently I finally finished my business class. You know, so future entrepreneur on deck.
All right.
And then, other than that, I got a chance to go to the World of Dance this weekend.
Hey,
so that was
okay,
pretty
all right.
awesome. Shout out to everybody that participated, all the all-style battles, the first place, second, and third winners. Shout out to Mike Manson for winning the all-styles battle. Shout out to Mission for actually making it to the finals and standing on the ones and twos. So yeah.
Hey, that sounds like an eventful.
Did I dance? Nah, you know I'm a little old. I can't quite do it like that. I'll leave that to everybody else.
You still got it.
You ready to do the robot?
You still got it.
Put the robot in there. Hit it with the robot.
You still got it.
I still got it.
Yeah, you still got it.
All right.
Well, me personally, I've been like really into natural products. So I actually made my own shea butter.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just dibbling and dabbling lately, and I'm excited about it.
Okay.
And another exciting thing, I interviewed Detroit City Council President Brenda Jones.
Yeah, so how was that? How was that? And then she won her primary this last election in a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
So how was that?
It was pretty good. I was nervous at first, but then she's so down to earth and she's so like lax that it just made me comfortable. So it went well.
Okay.
It went well.
Cool. So yeah, you know, that's what's been going on. Me just been working and everything. So what's been up with you, Nat?
Let's see. Okay, don't judge me, all right? I'm from Detroit, born and raised.
Okay.
Yesterday was my first time going down to the Eastern Market.
It's
Don't
okay.
judge me.
It's okay.
People are like, how are you from Detroit? I've never been, okay?
You never been to Eastern
I
Market?
just...
Okay, I'm not gonna judge.
This is
I'm
my
not gonna
first year
okay.
going too.
See, I went, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I got this caramel popcorn. It was awesome to try.
Yeah. Okay.
Loved it. And then I also went down to Detroit Vegan Soul.
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
heard
I've
of
been to the
that?
restaurant. How was that?
Good. The mac and cheese.
No.
I don't know nothing about vegan life.
Oh my goodness.
I like bacon. I can't.
Man, it's so good. Like they have the soul food made vegan style. So we had mac and cheese, which tastes like mac and cheese, no dairy whatsoever. The greens off the charts.
Okay.
It was good. I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, I've tried
recommend
them.
it.
I've tried them before. I've tried their kale greens. Now, I will say some people just have an open mind. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I want to have an open mind, but see, I can't look on my plate and physically see like mac and cheese.
What mac and cheese?
Greens and not have some ribs next to me. That's odd. I can't really. That's weird to me.
They got ribbish.
Ribbish.
They have
Ribbish.
catfish shit.
Yeah.
Wait, how you get
like
catfish? How you do that?
Kind of like it,
Yeah,
but it's
'cause
not
it's out
it.
of tofu.
Right? Yeah.
But
That part.
You know, I didn't try, but it.
Yeah. How about that?
So funny. So it
I'm with you,
sounds
Trisha.
like try it. I'm telling you, don't knock it till you
And they
try
had
it.
peach cobbler.
Yeah.
and
I
the
had their
vegan
peach
ice
cobbler
cream.
before.
It was,
Really?
It is.
it's legit.
It is.
It is.
It is tasty. I would say it definitely is tasty. So it may not be the consistency that you may remember, but it is
The
tasty.
flavor's there.
Yeah, the flavor is there.
Okay.
It really is. Yeah, y'all got to try it. You know, definitely got to try it.
No.
Okay. All right. So, Annette, jumping into the interview, you know, the blueprint, you know, playing and winning with the losing hand. What motivated you to even write this book?
So when that book was given to me, honestly, I can't say that I had even an intention to write a book because I didn't. And I tell you in the book, like literally God gave me that book.
Wow. Yeah.
I felt like in the middle of the night, 1:00 in the morning, this message come to me. And it was just a message. was like, what is this? I'm showing my husband, what is this? I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I wrote this thing down. What does this mean exactly? And at first I thought, push it to the side. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to write about this. And I felt this nudging on me, like this, I don't want to say a negative word, but it was more like a nag, like, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be writing this. And I wrote it, like I just kept writing and writing, and I would pray about it. And it just kept coming to me. Like when I read this book now, I know that it wasn't me.
Wow. Wow.
That's deep.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
me.
that is. It's pretty deep because you get into some like heavy heavy stuff in here. When I first got it, and I just finished reading it because when I first read it, I wasn't ready to read it. Because I say that because when I started reading it, it pulled out some things like, how you know? That's what I need to hear right now. I don't want to read this book. But as I continued to read it, I was inspired. I definitely was motivated. And just some of the concepts in it, that one of them that really stuck out was the portion where you talk about like self-love and self-approval. So in that, can you just explain a little more in depth on how you came about with that particular section?
Yeah, self-approval. Like I feel like many times we wait for other people to give us the okay, other people to validate us. We don't live in a time of like other people. If I waited for other people to tell me, yep, you should write this book.
Right.
That's a good idea. It wouldn't be written.
Right.
You know, if I waited for other people, you should go to school. Nobody's going to have your back the way you have your back. You know what I mean? Okay. You got to be your biggest cheerleader. Even if I have to do it in silence. In my head, I won't tell you, but I'm going to keep it to myself because I'm my biggest cheerleader.
Right.
That's what I mean, like self-approval. Like, girl, you can do it. Like self-motivating. You can do that thing. Even if you don't tell me, even if you don't love me, even if you don't believe in me, you got it.
I like that. Yes. That's definitely something that, I don't know, like I need to possess that, and just in the world that a lot of people need to possess it.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that because me personally, I struggled with things in the beginning, like of my journey, and I didn't know, like, I didn't understand who I was, and it took a minute for it to register. Like, you living life off of what other people think of you and other people's opinions. You got to be yourself. So, and ever since I like turned over that leaf, I feel like just free.
You feel like a new being.
Just free mentally.
Yep.
You become free mentally.
I can relate to that as well, because it's like for me in my life, in regards to my parents, like I've always wanted to please my parents. I've always wanted to, make them happy. Do I make you proud? And it's like I'm frazzling myself to try to make sure that I've met their approval and their criteria. Then one day I had to click in, like, your parents are putting stipulations and criteria on you that they can't even meet.
That part.
Yes, we want you to be perfect. Wait.
But you guys aren't.
Wait, hold on. How am I going to be perfect?
Right.
And I come from 2 imperfect parents.
Right.
That don't add up.
Right.
So I get that.
And then you're unhappy because you're not being genuinely yourself. And you're not even being like what God called you to be, because I'm trying to be what you guys wanted me to be.
Oh.
Say that.
Bars. I like that.
I wanted to ask you a question. I'm a motivational speaker as well. Being a motivational speaker, I have motivational speakers that inspire me.
Okay.
Name 2 that inspire you.
2 that I absolutely love, admire, wish I could be like them. Lisa Nichols.
I love her.
And Sarah Jakes Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
Great picks.
Those 2, because yes, they are Lisa Nichols is a motivational speaker. Sarah Jakes Roberts, I mean, she was a speaker. She's a pastor now.
Right.
So it's like, okay, they do what you like, but I also see women that look like me. And so that was encouragement for me. Like, they look like me. They sound like me.
Right.
If they're doing it, I can do it too.
Right.
You know, that was my biggest thing. Like, yes, you can find other ethnicities, you can find men, but to find like a sister doing it, so in love with them. And then you hear their background, you hear what they've been through and their struggles, and you're like, oh, if they went through all of that and they, girl,
Right.
you
Right.
It's crazy because I listen to Lisa every day, every
Okay.
morning before I go to work. So we both can relate to that.
Yeah, and her
Yeah.
story is just so powerful. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow. And I've seen her journey. Another person, I know you said two, but another person I really like is Chanel Cooper Sykes.
Okay, I never heard of her. I'm gonna have to check her out.
Oh yeah, I follow her on Instagram. She is very, very quite motivational. You know,
Okay.
yep.
I
have to
really
check
like
her
her mostly because I remember back when she was at her house making videos.
Yep, yeah, sure was.
That's
it sure
it.
was.
So all this stuff she's doing
Yeah.
now and traveling, like, girl, I remember back when you were making YouTube videos
Yep.
and that was all she had. And to see her now, so when you see somebody's journey, it's like, man,
Right.
Yeah.
stay the course, girl.
Right, okay, grit.
Grit.
Right. I like to touch on something you said. Like, a lot of people don't understand. You have to start from scratch. You got to start from home. It's okay. And, just take your time and be patient. Don't put too much, pressure on yourself. Because it was a point where I was like, oh, I have to have a space. I have to have this.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Create
no,
your space.
you really do. Right. Create your own space. Seriously, create your own space. It's very
Yeah,
important.
work what you have in the moment, and it's enough. And I feel like that's a big message in the book. Is just taking what little bit that you do have
Yeah.
and working it. When I wrote a book, I had no idea how to write a book. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know the right people. I don't know about editing, publishing. Who was going to do the cover? Who was going to do... I had no idea, but I took just that little bit. God gave me a one word. I'm going to just work it. Like, if we all just took that little bit that we have, that's enough. Like, I don't need, the whole feast. Just give me one meal, okay?
Eating that vegan
That's
food,
amazing.
that's about what you're gonna
Not the vegan. Why you want to pick on the vegan? No, look. Not the vegan.
The vegan's going to come for you.
do. Got a ham sandwich waiting on you.
Right.
Not a ham sandwich.
You know. So okay, so I was going through some of your book as well, and I'm a poet, so I have an appreciation for the words that you had in there. Now, I guess my question would be for you is like, what motivated your poetry in there?
All of the poems that I've written have been from something that I've been through. So they come from a real life experience, some emotion that I had. It's my life.
Okay.
To some degree, yeah.
And it's funny that you said that because there's a poem in there that's called "This Is My Story," and it's a really deep piece, and I guess in regards to like a domestic violence relationship. So, and that's something that you had recently or previously been in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, my question for you is, I guess, how did you get out of that situation, and what advice can you give to some of the people that may be in those types of relationships or situations right now?
Out of that situation, looking back, I would say it was easy to get out of because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. So when that happened, that was confirmation. Like, that was just a cherry on. You know what? Yep, you weren't supposed to be here. So it was a little bit easier for me just to walk away. And also, my mother comes from a domestic violence situation. So going through that myself, it was just like, bring it back. You can't do that. This is a new generation, a new time. Your family has already been through that. You won't go through that again. So I need it once when we're done. So it was easy in that regard because it was something that, not that I was familiar with, but my family, like, I am familiar with those type of things where you're like, this is not for you.
Okay.
It's not for you.
So it's kind of one of those things where you made the conscious decision, I'm going to break this family curse, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then I know I wasn't supposed to be there. So it was,
Yeah.
it
be like that.
You know when you were in the wrong. So you're like, oh, okay, well, thanks for playing.
Well, that was. And if you haven't read the book, you should definitely read that poem. It's very inspirational because it has like a lot of different points in it. And it was just so heartfelt. It was kind of like you were there, but then it was kind of like how you flipped it, and then you kind of took the more spiritual route throughout it. So I can appreciate that, because it was like, okay, trouble don't last always.
Yeah.
Joy is coming in the moment.
All right, you better say that.
I just left church today, so
Come on.
there you go.
We running. Okay.
Go on and cut real quick. Aaron, I can picture you going down the aisle doing that. I'm like, oh, Aaron. He's like, no.
He's so funny, right? Speaking of crisis, there is a point in there where you say there is Christ in every crisis. And then you talk about how in the Chinese culture, the symbol for, crisis is both for danger and opportunity. And I like how you, flip that. Yeah, I don't want to tell too much about the book or anything, but can you elaborate a little more about that part for me?
Man, so many different things I'm thinking about right now in my life. Just, people say you can take a negative and make it into a positive. I look at that, what are you going through? What can you turn that into? It depends on your mindset, because some people might go through something. This is the end. It's over. I done messed up, but did you really?
Never thought about it like that.
Did you really mess up, or did you just have an epiphany and now this is your opportunity to change what you've been through? Like, I could have, in that situation, this is my story, I could have, this is it, I done messed up, I done been through it, I'm messed up, I'm damaged goods, I done been through X, Y, and Z, I don't deserve anything better. That could have been an option for me, but it wasn't. So in my crisis, I did find Christ. Like, I've been through something so horrible that I got a chance to see God. I got a chance to see there's opportunity in everything that you do, depending on how you want to look at it. Because we all got choice. That it's in the Bible. You got a choice to live or choice to die. It's all up to you. So I guess the message is, I feel like there's nothing in life that you can't use to your benefit. Whether you're talking personal, you're talking spiritual, even in the business world. And every crisis in the world, another millionaire is born. Like, when something happens, like, for example, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we had those crazy windstorms that took place, and it was tearing up people's roofs. Guess who came through? The roofers. Bank on everybody's roof that was tore up.
Yeah.
And our sub, I thank God we didn't have, our roof wasn't damaged too bad, but basically everybody's roof in the sub was, if it wasn't completely gone, it was nearly completely gone. Roofers made money.
Yeah.
When the market crashes, somebody is making money. So, I mean, when something goes wrong, there's always a light to it. Depending on how you want to work the situation.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it, because a lot of times when certain issues come up, the thing to do is to cover up and just be like, woe is me, and be mad at the world, and I'll never sit, professing to your future that what you'll never be. Yeah. So that is a great way to look at it.
Yeah, I like that, because I feel like, me personally, going through the things that I've been through, it's like I wouldn't be who I am today. Like, I wouldn't be here with you guys today. So that's a great message, and I definitely gotta check the book out.
That's how I felt too. Like, everything that I've been through, all the bad stuff, all of the mistakes. Like, man, if I didn't, even though going through, I hated that was me and that was my life. I wouldn't be that person.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be that person that, I feel like now I'm at the point in my life where I'm just me, I don't cover up nothing. I'm not fake. That's why I'm like, girl, I know you want that chocolate. I know you do, because if it was me, I would be like, thank you, boo. I'm just so me, because I've been through so much in life, and I think looking back in those moments, I wanted to be able to talk to someone who was just real with me. And so I'm like, because I didn't have that, I want to be that for somebody. Just real. It ain't got to be cute. Okay, we all dressed up. When I go home, cap going on. Right. Makeup seriously. Coming off. PJs. Right.
That actually kind of reminds me, I'm gonna take it about Old Testament real quick.
Okay.
To the book of Kanye. Chapter 5. And there was a song that said, everything I'm not, made me everything I am.
Yes.
And I think like
Come
that
on.
was probably one of the most like just mind blowing like lines. It was so simple, but when you really break it down in its true essence, it's like, wow, I could have been that, but I'm this instead.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why be a duplicate when I'm a perftly good original?
That
Wow.
hurts.
And you are.
You better
So-
talk about it in here.
Bars.
Got it.
You are an inspiration to many. And writing this book, you're motivating a lot of people.
Okay.
So you do this all the time, motivate people. So how do you stay motivated yourself?
Man, like I think that I've been fortunate to have a really good support system. Like my close friends, my husband, especially my husband.
All right.
You know, if I'm completely honest, he's taught me so much about one, having dreams, right? And being persistent. He's the most persistent person I've ever met in my life. I say that
Nice.
in a good way and a bad way, but he is. He is. But he's taught me so much about following your dreams and staying in the course. So to have my husband support me, to have my friends support me when things aren't going well, if I'm going through, whether I got health issues, whether I'm going through something at work, to have people that'll laugh me through my situation. Like they see me when I'm down, they will forcefully pull me up, laugh me through it, talk me through it. Like that's my support system, because they're rooting for me, and I know that they want to see me do well. I'm gonna do well. Like if it was just me, like, but like, hey, they want you to do well. They've invested in you, literally time, literally money. So I have other people attached to me. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going. And if I'm honest, my brother is also another reason or another factor that keeps me motivated. I want him to know that he has someone in his family he can go to, someone who has done it, that he has a resource. I want him to be proud of me. I want him to have a good example. I think so much of him that I just want him to do well. You know, all these things that I'm telling you, he really doesn't know that yet. But I want him to do well. And if he can see that in me, if he can be more than me, and just do things that I never done in his age, then I feel like, man, I did a good job. You know, I feel like if I went through all of these things and I struggle, I don't want him to have to go through that either. Not while I'm here, not while I'm on this world. We have a huge age gap, so I do and have, you know, treated him like maybe like a son, that mother figure in his life. So I want him to do well. And if I can do that while I'm still here, then I would feel successful. So he definitely motivates me in that regard.
That's amazing. I can relate to that because I have little brothers as well. So, and I definitely want the best for them.
And, he definitely knows now, which will be a good thing. But, you know, just kind of jumping into the topic of social effects of social media. So just how has social media been in regards to the blueprint and being an author and motivational speaker?
Social media it's been good. It's been really good. Before the book, I was not on social media at all. That wasn't my thing. So of course I had to get on there to promote the book and meet people, but it's been really good. It's been a blessing. It's been a free resource.
That part.
So cost-wise, it's been, you know, easy to access. So it's great in that regard. I found that people were very receptive of it, which I was surprised because I hadn't been on social media. So people were receptive of the message, receptive of me, and it's been awesome. I couldn't really ask for anything more, knowing like if I didn't have anything at all and to get my first start, you get a free platform to do that.
Right.
Hey, I was all right.
Right.
Yeah, I can relate with that too because I was off social media for a long time too as well. So when I decided to become a motivational speaker, I'm like, how am I going to get my message out here? I'm like, I have to get on social media because it's like it's really popular now, and that's where everybody is. So yeah, it is. So being on social media and seeing a lot of celebrities or just people, period, they always get like negative feedback, how to deal with negative comments and negative things. Like, have you ran across that building a brand?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'll get on there. I try to stay positive, so I might post a positive quote or post a scripture or something to that effect. The people will get on there and be like, oh, that's what you think. Oh,
really?
I don't believe in God or this and other. Absolutely.
Wow.
And I mean, the way that I am, I'm not going to just leave it there and don't say anything back. I'm going to say something back, but I'm going to make it positive so that they know, like, hey, I hear you, but this is the flip side of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do get those positive, negative comments, but I don't let them have the final say.
Right. That's important. That's very important.
So
They don't get the final say.
I have a question for you guys. All right, so both of you said like for a long time that you weren't on social media. Is there any particular reason why? I guess we can start with you and then go to
I don't know. I was never a big social media person in the past. I always felt like, people that, and that's not really true, but back then I felt like people who really cared about me, who really knew me, they had my number.
Right.
Y'all can just call me. I'll text you a picture and so forth, So, and then, back then you got crazy dudes, crazy exes. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to delete this. Don't do this anymore. So it was just easier, for me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Veronica?
Dealing with social media, I'm more of a personable person. So I like in person. So back then I'm like, oh, like she said, you got my phone number. You want to contact me, you can call me. And I really didn't really know like how big social media was back then.
Yeah.
So it just was different for me. Like I was very shy.
Okay.
So now a lot of people don't know that about me, and it's so funny because people don't believe it.
Right, like, oh yeah, she's shy in front of a camera.
But I was very shy, so it's like, and I'm like, I don't really got nothing to say. That's how I felt,
Right.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I really don't have much to say. I start posting stuff, how Facebook say, what's on your mind? Nothing.
Yeah.
Food.
Right.
But I was like that too. Like I didn't have a real need for it, and I was like, "What do y'all want?" Like,
Right.
and then I remember this is the one thing that like did it for me. I was out somewhere, and I was at work. This guy I do not know. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're the one. You went X, Y, and Z for your birthday." And I was like, "Why do you know that?" He said, "It's on your Facebook page," and it just freaked me out that this stranger.
Wow.
That I don't know just knew these things about me.
And see, and that was going to be one of my points that I was going to bring up because, like you guys were saying, initially you weren't on social media. See, I was one of those people that started out on social media
me too.
when it was originally the Facebook.
Right, just for a certain group.
Now, currently, I'm off of Facebook.
Okay.
So, for my own personal reasons, I know there are a lot of safety reasons that go into like having social media as well, such as what you were saying, like complete strangers that you may have added didn't even know you added them. There are so many security and safety risks out there. Like for example, like you have your full name out there. You have what school you went to, and then all this personal information. And me coming from an information security background, those are all liabilities, especially if there's like a social engineering portion of somebody trying to say get into your account. Oh, well, what school did you graduate from? Oh, well, let me look in her bio.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite superhero? Oh, well, let me see. She says she listed that right there in her. So, so there's a lot of safety precautions that we have to take nowadays, especially being on social media that people aren't really cognizant to.
I absolutely agree with you. I try to be conscious of, okay, we don't talk about what city you in. No, don't do that. What school did you go to? We don't take that off there. You just need a name. Okay, that's about it. Because people they take something good and twist it.
Oh yeah, that is something. Just the negative aspect of and the effects of social media is that people will take a lot of things and twist it. Especially like just mentally. You have a lot of people who have this false sense of like what reality is or these unrealistic expectations about life and friendship. And there was a study that I was reading, and they were saying that 60% of like young people have who spend 2 hours per day usually have some type of mental health problem, either depression or anxiety or anything like that. So, you know, that is something that's really a negative effect to where even adults you may have. I saw somebody who posted and they were saying how, you know, they are lonely, you know, they want somebody in their life, they don't feel like their life is going right and all this other stuff. And then I spoke out to them and they said because they watch everybody else moving on with their life and they don't realize.
Yeah.
Okay.
know.
Okay, hold on. So on the flip side of that, I see posts all the time talking about I'm lonely. I wish I had a boo babe buttercup.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so is that same scenario or is they thirst trapping?
Well,
It's kind of a
this person, I don't know. Well, I don't know if they were thirst trapping or whatever it is, but it has been shown that people do, you know, have some type of anxiety or depression because of what they watch, and people do that thirst trap. I mean, that's still like kind of the same. It's just it's not your typical like I'm in the corner crying, cry for help. It's a different type of cry for help.
Can we define what thirst trapping is?
right.
Let me tell you what thirst trapping is.
Right.
Thirst trapping is typically when you allude or drop hints to, oh, I want this to happen. Wink.
right.
Or I want this type of attention from whoever. I don't care who it is.
Right.
Wink.
Right.
But don't you directly DM or inbox me because I'm not talking to you. Wink.
Or it's the I'm cooking and you have on booty shorts, but the eye on the stove is not on, nor is it turned to anything but off. But you're cooking.
You know, that reminds me of Friday when you saw Miss Parker and she was across the street watering the grass with the booty shorts on, but it wasn't no grass.
Okay.
You know what? I realized that years later that it was no grass.
It was no grass.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Social media actually pointed that out for me.
That is so. See?
Right.
Social media can help you out in different ways because I didn't realize it.
I guess you
Right.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so like social media definitely does have its pros and its cons to it.
Yeah.
I know personally when I was going to school for information security, what have you, I actually had to do a capstone. Which is like my final presentation to get my final grade to graduate. So I actually did my capstone or dissertation on has social media made society antisocial? And once I did the polls and the votes and everything, the answer is absolutely yes, it has.
It has. I can
it.
definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So like, do kids even play freeze tag anymore?
Right. Okay.
You know,
go outside.
do they do
or-
anything? I can't play with you right now. I'm too busy playing Bejeweled or something.
It's
Right.
crazy
You got some
because
games?
my niece will come over and she'll be on an iPad and then my daughter will be on the iPad and it's like, come on, let's play together.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I have to like push them like, come on, let's go to the park. Let's go do this. Put them iPads down. So social media is definitely taking over when it comes to our kids.
Yeah, and it's interesting. And it's interesting because, like, when we were kids, you know, we was quick to go to Eastland
Okay.
or
Right.
Fairlane or
Good thing.
get your mall rat on,
Right.
and actually socialize. I know when I was younger, you know, we try to get as many numbers as we could, or what have you, and all that good stuff. It's like, how do you do that now? Like social media, just DM.
So what's up?
Yeah.
That's why we ain't got no malls no more. The
Slide
kids ain't even going shopping.
Yeah,
no more.
You know
That is
what?
true.
I hate to say this, but the kids is sliding in my DM.
Oh.
And they're getting ignored, trust me. But I'm like, these are babies. Like, I'm looking, I'm like, okay.
Because, I mean, I think that gives a false sense of confidence, too, because I read comments a lot on social media just to see what people's head is. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, God, help us. But I think that definitely pushes a false sense of confidence where, you know, you gangster on the keyboard.
Right.
But then in person, you like...
I was just
Right.
playing.
You know,
Yeah.
That's how people are.
Right.
Even negative comments that you wouldn't say in somebody's face. Like, I feel like social media was supposed to help connect you with other real people.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these are other humans, whether they're in the next city, next state, next country. You can be connected. But the flip side was that we forget these are actually real people on the other side. So where we were supposed to humanize, we kind of like dehumanized people and forgot like this is an actual being that we're talking to. So
yeah, that face to face is important.
big.
Yeah,
it's big. Even in the workplace, like I feel like yes, as children we don't talk a lot, or the kids don't talk a lot. But I feel like the millennials. I mean.
We are.
Millennials. We're the older millennials, but the younger millennials, like in a prior job I had, even with working together, they don't want to talk to each other. So we can all be in this space right here, sending emails back and forth. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Y'all could just tell me that.
Right.
That happened maybe to me before in a work environment with my team lead. And it's like, I'm right here. Why didn't you just talk to me? I literally looked over at her. And I was like, why did you? I actually asked, like, why did you email me?
Yeah, that's too funny. But I mean, even we like the negative part, but there are some positive effects of social media.
Yeah.
Because even like for me, I have family and friends out of state, so I get to like. Talk to them, see their children, stay connected. Different events that may have gone on in the world, we probably would have never, ever heard of or known what was happening.
That's
you know?
True. That's true.
Because I went to Janae Aiko concert recently, and I found out through social media, but I wouldn't have known. And then it reminds you.
Right, exactly. That part.
It reminds you. So it's some good aspects.
Yeah.
I think businesses are like benefiting from it as well too.
Yeah,
I mean mainly like the marketing piece. Instead of them spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to market their product, they're going to be like, "Hey Trish, I'm going to send you my product and let you do a video and promote it," and it costs them nothing but the cost of the product. Versus hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a commercial. No PTO. You ain't got to call in. I don't have to pay you insurance or anything. Like that's huge for the business.
Yeah,
that does push the entrepreneur, that the movement forward using social media for that purposes.
Yeah, and I know with me personally, like I've been able to get like a lot of bookings and everything for performances off social media, and then also even just reaching out to like some really like prolific and big name people. I was able to reach out to them directly through social media, and we were kind of able to work together on a few different projects or whatever the case. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah,
so,
I
well,
can
it
agree
has its aspects.
with,
Yeah.
I do my events, and that's how I got in contact with people, like with through social media. So it has helped me a lot in the business aspect as well. So definitely can agree with
We
that.
just got to find a good balance. And that's the thing. I think because it was so new and so just like, oh, okay, you went, like you said, from the Facebook, and it was like, okay, college students. Then it was like, okay, we got a high school one and a college one. Now we got to fuse them together. Now we're going to open it to everybody. Now you got Instagram. Now you got this, and that.
Yeah.
It's like chaos, but no type of like, okay, reality check of these are only snapshots of what's going on in these people's lives.
Right.
Nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors.
That's true.
And I like the fact that we can kind of keep in contact with like our high school friends, and
Yeah.
I even came across a middle school friend like in elementary actually. Like so, I really think that's dope. Like, cause you wonder like, dang, how have they been?
Yeah.
It's been years.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Too many questions.
So, we came out the same year. Did you go to our high school reunion?
And see, I feel like that's where it messes up too, because I was like, I don't need to go to the high school reunion because I have Facebook. Right. Exactly.
So once again, there's pros, and then there's cons. Because I personally, I'm like, I already know what you're doing.
Right.
This is supposed to be one big catch-up session. I see what you're doing every day. You post every day. I know what you're doing.
They got thought.
Yep.
So it's fun to have fun on social media, but it's also fun to have fun on the grit.
Hey.
Actually, look. So this brings us into our next segment where we ask you to pull a question.
Okay.
And it's like a get to know you question. So, because we want to get to know you, and you can get to know us as well.
Says, if you didn't have sleep, what would you do with the extra time? Okay, the thing that first came to mind was, and maybe this is corny, I would write. Because I find myself throughout the day, like I'm at work, like low-key trying to write a little but I would write because I have all these like different messages, poems, all these ideas. I'm working on a second book. So I'm like, I would write in my spare time and eat.
That part.
Because you gotta like write a little and you have the munchies.
Okay,
you know,
right.
So you
Are you
gotta,
sure you're not my twin?
we might be.
Because I think so.
Yeah,
Because that sounds like
or
something I would be
something.
doing.
Yeah. So that's what I was.
So, me personally, I would read.
Okay.
Because there's so many books I need to catch up on, and
Yeah.
I tell myself all the time, like, I'm gonna go home and read. But it's like time just go by so
Yes.
fast with work, and just time just go by so fast.
Yep.
So I would read.
That's good.
Oh, it's on me. Oh.
It's on you. Your turn.
I just binge watch Netflix shows.
That part. Okay.
That's a good one,
Continuously.
too.
You gotta catch up.
Because I don't have enough time because I got to go to sleep because I got to go to work. But if I didn't have to go to sleep, I'd watch TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I would dance because I haven't danced in a long time and I love it. It makes me feel so free.
What
and
kind of
it's
dancing?
Everything from just two-step to like maybe throw a little ballet in there.
All
I'll
right.
just throw on some music and just dance. Like throw a little ice skate and a little.
Oh,
There you
You know what? You still have to teach me how to hustle.
That part.
It's like a million different hustles, and you still got to
Yeah.
teach me.
I sure will.
Like, I'm serious.
Sure will.
I'm serious.
Well, everybody, this is
Hey.
our episode with our lovely guest co-host, Annette Webster. And do not forget to pick up the book, The Blueprint, Playing and Winning with a Losing Hand. Girl, you
Winning.
smoking. And Veronica, take it away.
Well, okay. Remember, guys, push to empower. You got this.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi guys, I am Annette Webster and this is my new book, The Blueprint, Playing and Winning with a Losing Hand. I want to strongly encourage you to check out this book. I believe it would change your life. Playing and winning with the losing hand means taking the little bit that you have, the negative things that you have, and knowing that you can still win with it. God can still get glory from it. There is so much that God wants to give us. We need to go from glory to glory to glory, that there's blessings beyond your imagination, that there's things that God want to give you that you don't even know how to pray for. So I want to encourage you guys to check out The Blueprint. Go to annettewebster.com. Leave me a message. I want to know what your thoughts are. How are you feeling? What did it change in your life? Did you have a revelation about your life, your finances, your family, your marriage, and so forth? Or you can also go to my Facebook page, go to Instagram at Annettes Blueprint, and let me know. I want to have a conversation about things that are changing in your life from reading this book.